Yo, what is up, everybody? Your favorite inconsistent YouTuber here, Watt007, back at it again with a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links leak video. And in today's leak video, we're going to be covering the brand new selection box mini that's going to be coming soon. And we're going to be covering the new Evil Domination EX structure deck. And I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on both of these new boxes and structure decks here, because they're going to be adding some neat cards into the game, and I'm looking forward to discussing about it with you guys. And I'm going to be honest, I almost wasn't going to cover this content since Brad's video did super well, and I haven't had the time to record and sit down talking about these new leaks, simply for the fact that I've been busy with work and whatnot. But shout out to the homie Zhang right here, or Shang, for letting me know, hey, where's your review on the new leaks and whatnot. And it kind of reminded me, hey, some of you guys want to hear my opinions on the brand new content that is coming into Duel Links. So even though it's not going to be new per se from all of you guys, because you guys might look it up in the news and whatnot, some of you guys still want to hear my opinions about it. So you know what, this video is for all of you guys that just simply want to hear my opinions on it. And if this stuff is new to you, that's even better too. But yeah, like I said, Brad's video did really good, so I'd assume most people was going to be, you know, knowing about all this new stuff. But here you guys go. Here's my video talking about the new stuff and my thoughts and opinions on this, because I have some mixed opinions on the Evil Domination box, but I am looking forward to the selection box here because it has some really cool cards to take a look at. So if you guys are excited for my thoughts and opinions on this new box, leave a like on the video down below and sub to the channel if you guys are new. Without further ado, let's go take a look at the new structure deck and mini box. First things first, let's take a look at the Evil Domination box right here, and I have mixed opinions on it. The thing I will say that's really good about this is the fact that this is a one-stop package for getting most of the cards that you would want for a Supreme King deck right here, because it has all the cards that Supreme King Jaden used in the anime in this box. It's gonna have the Malicious Fiend here. It has Evil Hero Malicious Edge here. And by the way, for the rest of this video, I'm gonna mispronounce malicious because whenever I read things too fast, I get it slurred and the words just go all over the place. So just if I mispronounce it, I mispronounce it. And we also have Evil Hero Infernal Gainer, which is cool too. And we also have Dark Calling, which is going to be the way to fusion summon into Malicious Fiend here. So that's interesting. I'm not sure how we're going to be able to get Dark Fusion yet. I'm going to guess it's going to be some sort of like level up card from Jaden or what. But we're going to be getting, but if you're using the structure deck alone, you're going to want to use Dark Calling into Malicious Fiend here, because again, you can't use any other fusion materials or fusion spell cards to summon into this Evil Hero here unless you have Dark Fusion. So you're gonna want to use Dark Calling for that. Other than that, those are the only four like new cards from this box, which is kind of disappointing for a structure deck EX. Like, this is definitely one of the like weakest structure deck EXs that we have gotten in a while in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, personally, it feels like. But again, if you're trying to just, you know, pretend that you're an anime character and pretending that you're playing as Supreme King Jaden, well, this structure deck is definitely the good thing for you. Honestly, the most value that the structure deck does have is just a reprint on Mass Change and Solid Soldier here. Solid Soldier and Mass Change both having reprints here is going to be really nice, because it's going to save you guys gems if you're still trying to fish for your third copy of Mass Change and Solid Soldier. So that's a thumbs up for me. Other than that, this structure deck doesn't really have that much going for it. Because yeah, Evil Hero Malicious Fiend right here is a solid fusion monster, but it doesn't really have that much going for it. It is a 3500 beat stick, and it has the ability to where during your opponent's battle phase, all monsters they control are changed to face of attack position, and each monster they control must attack this card if able, which is kind of nice. But the problem is this card has no protection against, you know, powerful trap and spell effects. And on top of that too, your opponent can just simply end their turn. They don't have to go to the battle phase in order to, you know, like do anything. So again, if they have a way to get rid of your Malicious Fiend here, they're going to get rid of it first and then attack with the other monsters. So they could just go to their end phase right away if they wanted to. It doesn't force your opponent to go to the battle phase. It just simply states, hey, during your opponent's battle phase, all monsters they control are changed to face up attack position. So it's kind of whatever right there. So it's a cool card, it has a cool effect, and 3500 beat stick is really nice. But other than that, since it has no protection effects from spell and trap cards and monster effects, I don't really think this card's going to be seeing much play, unfortunately. On top of that too, the fusion material that you need to go into Malicious Fiend is going to be Malicious Edge here, and this card is just really bad. It's a cool card, and it's cool to see that this card is going to be coming into Duel Links, because again, it was one of the main cards that Jaden used when he was Supreme King. But anyways, all this card is just a level 7 malicious or Evil Hero monster. If your opponent controls a monster, you contribute some of this card face up with 1 tribute instead of 2. And this card, when it attacks, it can inflict piercing damage to a defense position monster. That's literally all it is. It's just a piercing monster, and it's just fusion material for Malicious Fiend. We also have Infernal Gainer, which is kind of cool because this card allows you to sack off a feed monster during your main phase 1 to make that feed monster attack a second time during the battle phase. And then also once per turn during the second standby phase, this card is banished. To activate this effect, you can special summon this card at attack position. So yeah, you use Infernal Gainer, you banish it off the board to then give your fiend monsters a second attack, and then you can bring them back into the board after your second standby phase. So again, it's just a neat card to do a double attack, but you have to wait 2 turns anyways to bring it back on the field. So it's cool, but it's also really awkward. Like, again, this structure deck is probably like one of the worst structure decks that we've gotten in a long time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, but it fills the purpose on getting access to all of Jaden's cards that he used while he was Supreme King, just in this alone, and also some references to the fact that the Dark Worlds here were also with Jaden and Supreme King when he was Supreme King Jaden, so that's kind of cool. So there's that going for it there. But again, honestly, this structure deck is just mostly good for the reprints competitive wise. But other than that, I don't think this is going to be seeing much play, unfortunately. And I could talk more about it once I get some playtesting on this deck. Really hoping that Jaden has some sort of good skills when he becomes Supreme King in Duel Links. But, or if the upcoming mini box is going to be giving us any really good evil hero cards, because for now, these are not really going to be seeing much play in my opinion. Moving on to the selection box mini though, this is going to be really hype right here because we got some insane stuff to talk about right here. We have Breakthrough Skill, we have Red Eyes Fang with Chain, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, we have Amigami Combo and Soul Taker and Volcanic Queen. Some fantastic new cards to come into Duel Links from the selection box, and on top of that we have a different artwork for Stratos that's also going to be coming in Duel Links very soon too. So this is really cool right here, and let's go take a look at all the insane cards. So this card right here is going to be called Breakthrough Skill. It's a UR card that's going to be fantastic for players that need an extra way to stop effect monsters from activating their effects. You can target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls. That face-up monster your opponent controls has its effects negated until the end of this turn. During your turn, except the turn is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls. That target has its effects negated until the end of the turn. This card is going to be really cool, and I can't wait to pull a copy of this card because, as you guys know, as a Levy player, as a Lightsworn Levy player, this card could actually be pretty good for my deck because if I mill it, I can use it in my graveyard still, and on top of that, if I do draw into it, I can set it face down and then, you know, use its effect, and then later use its second effect of being able to still stop an effect monster's effects for the turn. So this is really good, and just in general, it's a fantastic card simply for the fact that it's going to be another way to negate monster effects in the game. So this is going to be a more versatile Fiendish Chain right here. The only downside is the fact that the only downside is the fact that it's only going to be temporarily negating the card. It's not going to be permanently negating the card. And the bonus with Fiendish Chain is that it stops your monster from doing attacks. But still, it's going to be a really good card in certain situations. And again, I can use this in my Levy deck, so I'm definitely going to try to pull for this once the selection box mini comes out for sure. But yeah, it's going to be a really cool card to see what's going to be happening here. It's literally the Canadia of, Fiendish Chain, where, Floodgate came out first, then Canadia came out later, and then both Canadia and Floodgate had certain, uses depending on the meta. I think it's going to be the same thing here, where some decks are going to really want to use Fiendish Chain depending on the meta, but some decks are going to want to use Breakthrough Skill depending on the meta. So this is really cool to see. Or maybe you're just going to be toxic and just rock 3 Fiendish Chain and 3 Breakthrough Skill, because why not, right? Let's just do that instead. Another card that's interesting to see right here is Soul Taker, and I'm not sure how much play this card's going to see right here, but it is still a cool little SR card. You can target one face-up monster opponent controls, destroy that target, and then your opponent gains 1,000 life points. Again, if this card was non-targetable removal, I think it would see a lot of play, but still a card to definitely consider putting in a deck because, again, you get to choose which monster you can get rid of from your opponent, so you can just pop it, and then from there, while you give your opponent 1,000 life points, you can still figure out a way to OTK them potentially. So it's a neat card. It's a neat card to say the least. But again, I think this card is going to get released a little too late in Duel Links life cycle to see any competitive play. But it's still an interesting option. But again, cards like Fisher and stuff like that haven't seen no play in Duel Links. So again, I don't think Soul Taker is going to see any play, but it's still cool. And then we also have this card right here called the Amigami Combo. You can make it a face-up Xyz monster you control, detach all of its Xyz materials, and then this turn that target can attack twice during the same battle phase. So you can potentially make one of your big Xyz beat sticks be able to attack twice. I think will probably be the best way to play this card is that you'll summon your Xyz monster, like maybe like Maleficent Sin, play its effect to bounce your opponent's monster out of the game, and then you can use Amigami Combo to make your Maleficent Sin attack twice, because you can just attack your opponent twice right there. I think that's how this card's going to see play. But again, I feel like this is kind of a win more card, not really a winning card. So I don't think this card is going to see any play either, maybe except farms or in some cheesy Xyz deck. But again, it's a win more card. I don't know why you would want to put this in your deck when you would want to draw into other stuff anyway. So yeah, I don't think this is going to see any play, but it is something to consider for sure. Now we're going to move on to one of my favorite cards to see right here, which is Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon, a level 7 rank Xyz monster right here. And I love Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon. I use this a lot when I played the TCG in my Odd Eyes Pendulum deck, because, you know, it's a rank 7 card that works fantastic with Odd Eyes because they can spam out rank 7s very easily. And this card is really, really, really cool. So this card cannot be destroyed by card effects when it has an Xyz material. If this card has an Xyz material, every time your opponent activates a card in effect, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent immediately after it resolves. I think Konami might nerf it to 2500, but I wish they would keep it at 500 so that this card can see play. But yeah, they're probably going to nerf it to 2500. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach an Xyz material from this card and then target a Red Eye's normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So this card is really cool simply for the fact that it can't be destroyed by card effects, and you force your opponent to take damage every time they activate an effect. So they got to really consider what plans they're going to want to do, because you're going to be slowly chipping away damage at them each time this card's on the board. So I'm really looking forward to Flare Metal here. I can't wait to see this card see some play, and I'm really hoping that it does. And if Konami really wants this card to see play, they're going to not nerf its damage, but they're definitely going to put it at 2500. They'd be crackheads if they didn't do that. And on top of getting Flare Metal Dragon here, let's go take a look at this card right here, which is Red Eye's Fang with Chain. This is going to be a UR card that we're going to get where you can target a Red Eye's monster you control and equip this card to it. It can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. You can send this equipped card to the graveyard and target effect monster on the field. Equip that target to the monster this card is equipped to, and if you do, while a monster is equipped to it by this effect, attack and defense become equal to the original attack and defense of the equipped monster. Now this card is pretty busted right here, because first of all, you give your Red Eyes monsters the ability to attack twice right here. So if you have like a Slash Dragon or Flare Metal Dragon on the board, that sucker can attack twice. And on top of that too, you can do some tricky stuff with its equip ability, where you can sack off this card that's equipped to the graveyard and then target an effect monster on the field, and then equip that effect monster to the monster that you had Red Eye's Fang a Chain connected to. So if you had your Slash Dragon equipped with Fang a Chain, trigger Fang a Chain's effect to send it to the graveyard, you can take your opponent's monster and just equip it to your Slash Dragon, which is just absurd. The downside is, or plus side depending on which monster you suck up with this effect, is that the attack and defense become equal to the original attack and defense of the equipped monster. But still, it is just a pretty crazy effect right here, because you can basically just bring your opponent's monster to you with this card. So yeah, Fang on Chain is going to be a crazy card too, to combo with the Red Eyes Gearfried card and just in general with Red Eyes decks too. So I'm very curious to see if Red Eyes is going to see some competitive play with Red Eyes Fang on Chain. I don't know if this card is going to be enough to make it competitive, but it's still something to really think about. And the last card I'm going to take a look at in today's video is Volcanic Queen, the lava golem that only needs to sack off 1 monster to get into. But this card's interesting. This card cannot be normal summon or set, and you can only special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's side of the field by attributing 1 monster your opponent controls. If you special summon this card, you cannot normal summon or set this turn. So again, it's a lava golem, but you only need to sacrifice 1 monster to summon into it. Now the interesting thing about this card is that once per turn, you can send 1 other card you control to the graveyard to inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. During your end phase, either tribute 1 other monster or take 1000 damage. This card has 2500 attack and 1200 defense. Now, this card's going to get nerfed to 500 right here. This card's a gamble card, because basically what your opponent can do is that they can sack off their own cards, 1 Volcanic Queen's on the board, to deal damage to you. But if they have monsters on their side of the field, Volcanic Queen will have to sacrifice them, and if not, then they take 500 damage themselves. So it's a very double-edged sword card, because again, it's going to deal damage to your opponent potentially, or it's going to deal damage to your opponent. So it's very interesting to see right here. So maybe combo with Lava Golem, you can do some spicy stuff here, who knows. But yeah, Volcanic Queen is a very toxic card to say the least, and I'm curious to see if it's going to see any competitive play. Because again, it's a double-edged sword type of card, but I think used in the right hands could be very meta defining. So we'll have to wait and see on that, that's for sure. But yeah, Volcanic Queen's, that's something to look out for, and Galaxy's gonna be happy with some more toxicity, right? Because it's literally just a baby lava golem. But that is gonna do it for all the new cards in this set. Again, we have some cool reprints. We got Ferris, Stratos, Red Eyes, Iron Knight, Vision Hero Increase, Red Resonator, Mystical Space Typhoon, Dragon Mirror Fisher, Harpy's Hunting Ground, are all fun little reprints here. We also have some insane Xyz reprints like Constellar Palmy M7, Abyss Dweller, Dark Wolf, Wind Up, Zenades, and we have Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. So we got some little Jack support there. So it's a solid selection box, to be honest. That's some both really good reprints and a really good new cards to definitely take a look at. And I'll probably have to whale on this one because I think I do really want to get some breakthrough skill copies of breakthrough skills early as possible. So we'll have to wait and see on that, that's for sure. But that's going to do it for me in today's Duel Links video. If you guys did enjoy, you know what to do. Leave a like in the video down below and sub to the channel if you guys are new for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. Other than that, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video.